One of the things I noticed, I mean, look, you're a very handsome young man.
Thanks, man.
I remember when all this happened, I looked at your Instagram and dude, the comments under your photos are they're like, oh my God, he's doing it to us. Like I can't take this anymore. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like girls tagging their friends. Did you see? And then the girl is like, oh my God, I'm dying over here. Like, I'm like, yo.
Dude, it doesn't make sense to me either.
Well, but you're in the very small percentage of not just a good looking guy, but like it traditionally doesn't align with comedy, right? Like comedy, like the more flawed you are, people see it as a bonus, right?
Yeah.
Guy with like a missing tooth, belly hanging out there. People are like, that's hilarious.
It's visually comedic.
It's comedic, and they like to see that guy say things. And like, if he complains, it's like, that's okay, right? They don't want to see somebody really well put together.
Yeah.
They're like, well, what's up with your life is great.
Oh, of course. Yes, they assume you have no problems whatsoever.
You can't have problems. Traditionally, what you see in comedy, I think, is like you're always kind of telling, because there's a lot of women who are attractive women who sometimes lean into that.
Yeah.
And you find that like there's huge resistance to it.
Oh,
like,
of course.
People go like, stop dressing like that. And it's not that like I feel like you should tell somebody what to say, but I almost like say that like I understand what they're saying. It's like you're wearing this form-fitting outfit, you're accentuating. It's like the guys are only thinking about what they're seeing.
Yeah.
The women are like jealous or hating on you. It's like you kind of have to like play against those genetic gifts.
Yeah.
So like what's your position on like, you know that people are saying like, oh, we find you so attractive. What's your take on how to deal with that and do comedy?
Well, I think when I was younger, I had to embrace it because it was the only thing I had that kind of made me stand apart, I suppose, that gave me some kind of leverage, I guess, or at least made people notice me.
So like what, you're young and they're like, you're cute. And
so you go, oh, well, I'll play into the I'm young, dumb, and cute card,
Okay,
right?
I got
But
you.
then once you become 25, 26, 27, you're an adult, people stop caring about what you look like, at least in comedy clubs. Stop caring about what you look like and how old you are, and more focused on what you have to say. Like, are you going to actually be funny?
Yeah.
So now I'm at this point where I kind of hate that I did that to myself because I'm put in a weird position of like, yes, I have this massive fan base that is predominantly women who are such a powerful fan base. Like they're so supportive. And I mean, obviously, look at the ticket sales we did in 48 hours is insane. But then I have to sort through all of those fans to find, okay, who are the real comedy fans? Who's actually here because they believe I'm a funny comedian?
The big plus to it though is that you're bringing in people who maybe never wanted to see a stand-up show.
Oh yeah.
Never seen one. That is the big plus though, is that like, so somebody who goes like, oh, these chicks just think you're a good looking guy or whatever. It's like, yeah, but you got somebody to go, oh, I want to see this. This is stand-up. And some of them are going to be like, I want to see more stand-up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a huge benefit to comedy.
But it's a responsibility as well. Because so many of my online clips are just crowd work, people who don't know how comedy works think that's how the show is.
How are you managing that? Because I wondered that too. It's like, I see that it's like a natural thing to watch. You go like, oh, these are great crowd work clips.
Yeah.
They're going, I'm going to go talk to me, right?
It's you have to be patient, and I am patient to an extent. My biggest problem is people can come to the show expecting crowd work and still be respectful. They can sit back, wait, and go, I bet it's going to come at some point. That's the audience member that I love, because the thing is, they're probably going to get it because I enjoy doing crowd work for me.
Sure.
I mean, as a comic, like you get tired of telling your own jokes.
Sure.
When you do 8 shows in a row, you go, oh, okay, this hour
Here it is again. Yeah.
Let's break it up a little bit with something that's even going to catch me off guard.
And do you do that like at a special moment, or is it just like,
yeah,
whenever?
I'm so happy to talk to you about this. Somebody who gets it. Yeah, I've got like 3 placeholders in my set that I go, I can transition from this bit easily into some crowd work.
Of course.
And if it does or doesn't work out, I have an easy out to go back into the set. But here's an opening for it.
Sure.
But people don't know that. So you get people who are egotistical or just want the attention, or like they want to be that next clip.
People,
yeah, they come and they yell out.
Hey,
and that's what I'll shut down immediately. If I can tell somebody wants the attention, like they want to be the clip, I go, nah, get them the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I hate that shit so much, because
it's the worst.
The worst part about it is that there's this thing when you're performing any type of performance, but stand up, where you naturally to be the best performer, have to be willing to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And when somebody like hijacks moments like that, the natural instinct is go, I don't want to be vulnerable anymore.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
I don't want to open. So
you
I'm going
to put a wall up now.
Yeah. And then you're like, now you're fucking up the show for everybody, you know? Yeah.
No, that's been a tricky thing to navigate. It's going back to what you were saying about my looks earlier.
Yeah.
It's created this very hungry, supportive fan base that I'm so grateful for and has gotten me this far.
Yeah.
But now I am having to weed through those and find the real comedy fans because that's what I've been working so hard for the past 12 years. You know?
Right. How do you do that? Like you just...
You have to stay true to the craft, I suppose, as cheesy as that sounds. But it's like I was talking to my best friend and tour manager the other day about how easy it would be for me to just go on stage and play into the whole I'm a young fuck boy.
Yeah.
We lift my shirt up or whatever and like play to the female audience. And like I could have uproarious standing ovation.
Sure.
And it would be a great show for exactly what they probably want. But I'd be fucking miserable with myself.
You'd be miserable.
That's not what I want to do.
And the time limit on that would be quicker.
Oh, of course.
You know,
that would be such a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
But what's funny is, as much as I sit here and go, oh, my looks don't allow me to be perceived as a real comedian, guess how much sympathy I'm allowed to get?
Yeah.
Zero.
Of course.
People go,
but do you feel, is there a pressure on you to, I mean, your looks are your looks, right? Like your face is your face.
Yeah, didn't choose it.
Right. It's just how it is. But is there then an added pressure to go like, I need to look good all the time? I mean, you know, like, you're not aging out, but like there's this thing, right? Does it stay in your head like I better like stay in really good shape? I better make sure my hair looks like. Do you feel a pressure to deliver the package that some of these people want to see?
No, not for them. For me.
For you.
I want to look the best I can possibly.
Sure.
Look. Who the fuck doesn't want to look the best version of themselves, right?
Yeah.
And as somebody who grew up as an ugly kid, as a skinny kid, I didn't lose my virginity until I had 2 months left of high school. So like I was such a late bloomer that I'm like, can I just enjoy this portion of my life? I don't know what I'm gonna look like when I'm fucking older. I might look like Dom Irera in 5 years.
Yeah,
dude.
it
Who
really
knows?
could change.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
as rapidly as this happened, it could go away.
Let me ask you this: are you just drowning in pussy right now? Like, is it the best?
And if I was, nobody'd throw me a fucking life vest. Not a single person,
wouldn't.
dude.
No, they wouldn't.
No, I'm not. I have a girlfriend.
You do?
Yeah.
Does your audience know that? Well, they do now.
A good part of them do.
Are you guys together a while?
No, it's a early relationship, about 4 or 5 months, but we've known each other for about a year and a half.
You have?
Yeah.
A
She's
comedian?
wonderful. No, she's an actress.
Okay. Now, this is the next question for that. That takes she must feel how much people are commenting on you and like all the attention you get.
Yeah.
That takes a very secure person to.
And
right?
she is. She's very smart. And like I love that she's never been insecure about the amount of attention that I get and is more she sees it the way I see it. Like the way I see it. Like a girl will yell out in the middle of a show like "fuck me" or something wild that people yell out at these shows, right?
Crazy.
And a lot of girls will be like, you have girls yelling out to "fuck you" in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
I get off stage, she goes, "What the fuck's that girl's problem?"
Yeah.
That's so annoying. You're in the middle of trying out this new bit that I know you've been working so hard for, and now she ruined the entire fucking thing.
Yeah, that's a good girl.
I love that she understands that. I mean, does she love it? I'm sure she doesn't. Who the fuck would?
Yeah.
But she's very calming and understanding, which is what I love so much about our relationship. And that's why
take you a long way.
I didn't want to get into a relationship at all. With this tour beginning, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to manage a relationship. Yeah. And all it's done so far is just like keep me grounded. I have one person to respond to and think about and focus on rather than like being that touring comic that's like, what girl can I fuck in this city? It's
another thing where I remember like when I was like, don't lose your mind. I meant things like this, it's like.
Yeah, you texted me and I was like, "Are you sure this is Tom Segura?" Yeah, I couldn't. I was so happy that you reached out, man. That meant a lot. Seriously.
Well, I was happy for you. It's fun to like these things when they happen. They don't happen all the time. I feel like it's exciting, like just like for comedy.
Yeah.
And I know you're a good guy, and I was like, I just wanted to reach out and be like, hey man, I hope you're managing all this well, and that's not overwhelming, but like
that meant a lot because I get as much positive attention as you see on the internet, there's 3 times as much hate, dude.
yeah.
It's
Do you?
fucking
Oh man,
wild.
it's wild, right?
Bert and Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call 2 bears, 1 cave.